then we'll commence with the meeting.
Just a second here.
I just snuck in.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us tonight.
All righty, we're live.
All right, I eliminated the feedback loop and I am reading 7 p.m. Chair Best. If you would like to call the meeting to order, we'd all appreciate it very much. Thank you.
All right. It is now 7 p.m. I hereby call the March 10th, 2021 meeting of the Frostburg Planning Commission to order. We'll start our meeting with a roll call of the members present. Director Bennett, would you call the roll, please?
I'd be pleased to. Thank you very much. Commissioner Krogh?
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Rase?
Present.
Thank you. Commissioner Duncan?
Present.
Thanks. Commissioner Snyder?
Present.
And Commissioner Carter? Let the record show that at this moment, Commissioner Carter is absent. If she joins the meeting here in another moment or two, we'll announce her entry. Commissioner Ritchey?
Present.
Thanks very much. And Chair Best?
Present.
Let the record show that we do have a quorum for this evening's meeting of the Frostburg Planning Commission.
As we begin, I would ask that anyone presenting business before the commission or individuals who want to comment on business before the commission or other concerns, please indicate so at the appropriate time. When you are recognized to speak, please give us your name and address for the record. Each meeting is recorded, so please speak loudly and clearly. First item on our agenda is the review of the Planning Commission meeting minutes for February the 10th. Please take a moment to review them. They were previously distributed, so you may have already seen them.
Chairman Best, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Thank you. I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion to approve the minutes and a second. Any discussion? Director Bennett, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir, with pleasure. Commissioner Krogh?
I approve.
Thank you. Commissioner Rase?
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan?
Approve.
Commissioner Snyder?
Approve.
Commissioner Ritchey?
Aye.
And Chair Best?
Approve.
Thank you. Let the record show that's a unanimous vote to approve the minutes as presented for February 10th, 2021 Planning Commission meeting. Thank you.
Next item on our agenda is citizens' comments. I don't see any citizens in the meeting at the moment, so we will continue on to item 6.1, final subdivision plat submission for 75 South Grand Street.
Thank you, Chair Best. I've just loaded up that subdivision plat. Hopefully you can see that clearly on your screen. A hard copy of this final subdivision plat was available for review at City Hall for the last 2 weeks. Appointments were available to be scheduled. A copy was also posted in the front window of City Hall located at 59 East Main Street. At this time, we've received no public comment on this subdivision plat. Public comment was solicited and it was solicited in a variety of methods. A phone call could be made, email could be sent, a recording could be sent. There were many varieties of ways to comment, and at this point, we have received nothing from the public. Also, at this time, going through the attendance, I don't see Mr. Bennett present, and I don't see Mr. Ravenson, and they are who initiated this subdivision plat. I would leave it up to the commission how you would want to dispose of this presentation at this time.
They did know they were supposed to be here to present.
Yes, sir. We were in communication today, specifically regarding the water connection permits, which are a contingency of the final approval for this subdivision plat.
Okay, I think for the moment, let's.
And
table
these
go
were
on
sent to,
Go ahead.
yes, sir.
I was gonna say, for the moment, let's table this and bring it back up at the end of the meeting and continue on with the people that are here to do presentations.
That seems prudent to me. Thank you, Chair Best.
Okay, next one we have is third amended subdivision plat for Stormwater Pond at Prichard Farms. Mr. Brewer is presenting, or I'm sorry, Mr. Brewer's firm is presenting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Matt Brewer, Bennett Brewer and Associates, here this evening on behalf of the applicant Evergreen Associates. The sole purpose of the draft plat is to create a separate parcel for the existing stormwater management pond, which was constructed in conjunction with the initial infrastructure Prichard Farms development. Lot 209 consists of 2.14 acres and associated stormwater infrastructure. In addition to the parcel itself, 30-foot wide permanent access easement has been created along the entire southern length of the lot, which would have direct public access to Prichard Farm Road. Thirdly, this plat would create a permanent utility easement for the storm drain trunk line, which extends from the limit of the current infrastructure, the developed portion of the property, north to the pond itself. Upon completion of the subdivision, intent is to convey this property to the Prichard Farms Homeowners Association, whereby they would begin to take on the maintenance obligations in perpetuity for this facility. There's no planned construction or change to this lot at this time.
Thank you. Do any of the commissioners have any questions about this?
Hey, Matt, this is Jeff. Just one question on the permanent access easement. Is that going to be an open public access, or is that going to be only for the access pond?
It would be for the benefit of the homeowners association,
Okay.
so not open to the public, no.
Okay.
Now, are we conveying this at this time, or is this for future when the build out is completed for the whole division.
The intent is to convey it immediately upon approval of this subdivision.
Thank you. Any other questions? If not, the chair would entertain a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion. We accept the plat as presented.
Thank you. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, I have been a motion to add a second to approve the plat before us. Any further discussion? Director Bennett, would you call the roll?
With pleasure. And just to confirm, Chair Best, may I confirm that that was Commissioner Rase who initially moved to accept and Commissioner Snyder who made the second?
Those are the voices I heard, yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Thank you very much. Okay, I'll call the roll at this time. Commissioner Krogh?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Rase?
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Commissioner Snyder?
Aye.
Commissioner Ritchey?
Aye.
And Chair Best?
Aye.
Thanks very much. Let the record show that's a unanimous vote in favor.
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much, Mr. Brewer. Thanks for joining us this evening. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Okay, third item on here is a preliminary and you moved it on me. Final site plan submission, including lot line adjustments at 11201 Hoffman Hollow Road.
Fair Best, this is right here. With your permission, I would like to present this on behalf of our client. So I'd like to step down off the board here and act as a presenter.
Fine, go right ahead.
Okay. So let the record show that, any comment made is made on behalf of my client, not on the city. So I'd like to thank.
Excuse me, Commissioner Rase, I apologize for interrupting. Will you also be recusing yourself from the vote?
Oh, most certainly. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So with me tonight is Adam Felty. Adam, you still on?
Good evening.
All right.
I'm still here.
Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself, Adam, if you would, please.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Adam Felty. I'm with Clark Associates in Lancaster and represent Calumet Enterprises, the owner of the property and the building. I'm the director of real estate development and construction.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Welcome.
Oh, thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
What we have tonight is a site plan for an addition to vertical converting. This is an existing business along Hoffman Hollow Road. If you could, LJ, could you move to sheet C 1.0?
I'm lagging just a little bit. Just one moment, please. I apologize for the time delay.
Almost there.
Almost, okay.
Yeah, I believe you have two more sheets. There we go.
Large files just take a moment. I apologize for the delay.
While we're waiting on this, I think go ahead and start talking about a little bit about what we have presented here. There's an existing building on lot 6 and 7 of the industrial park. Prior to the start of this project, those lots were owned by the Allegheny County Commissioners. And our client is, correct me if I'm wrong, Adam, has either purchased or entered into a contract to purchase lot 6 and 7, and including part of lot 8. And as noted in the notes, we're going to ask for a lot line adjustment, which will be on lot 8. I actually did the original subdivision. I don't know if you guys can recall back about maybe 4 or 5 years ago that we presented on behalf of the county. This is the second development in the subdivision. And actually kind of excited to see that the subdivision's starting to get filled up. That's great for all of us in the city of Frostburg and surrounding areas. All right, thank you. Can I get control of the cursor?
Sure.
There we go. All right.
Good.
Yeah, click to start the mouse keyboard. There we go. All right, can everyone see my cursor here? So once again, this is Hoffman Hollow Road. Everyone follows the cursor around. And this is heads out to the road that meets the right alongside the nursing home. And this heads back into Hoffman Hollow here. Of course, 36 sits way up here at the top. We're a couple lots away from where 36 would be. So this is the back side of the presentation we saw back last month, next subdivision over. This is the existing building that sits on the lot here. And those small couple outbuildings right here. And in addition here, there's a parking lot here in the front and also a parking lot here in the back with existing access here and here. So, and let me move on to the next page. This is where the fun stuff starts. You are right, these are slow. All right.
You may only have the cursor and not the ability to move the.
I might not. So go ahead and take control here, LJ, and can you move us to the next sheet, please?
I'm attempting to do that. I'm just waiting for it to move.
Oh,
Again, I apologize for the delay.
Had I known this, I would have sent you an abbreviated set, LJ, with just like 2 or 3
Yeah.
plan sheets in. So
It's okay. We'll be there in just a moment. Technology is a wonderful thing. It really is.
while we're waiting on the plan sheet to move, can you explain a little bit about the process that's going on here currently and what's proposed?
Sure. Currently, it's Sierra Hygiene Products. They make commercial tissue paper of different forms. And with the addition, we plan to expand that and get more into being able to develop a residential style tissue paper roll, individually wrapped. Within the past year, we learned how important that can be at times. And within our Webstront store and our restaurant store apparatus, we found that the name vertical converting comes from the idea that the other thing that we learned during the past year is we want to be able to control some of the ends of the high demand items. So then that way, when we have the ability to supply our vendors and our customers better. So right now on the new side, out of the 60,000 square feet, that's actually 58,000 that we're proposing. About 30,000 square feet of that would consist of new manufacturing equipment that does this new domestic toilet paper tissue roll. And then the other 30,000 square feet is for raw and finished product. And the other lines that are currently in place on the existing building will continue to do what they've been doing the way that they've been doing it. So basically that stays untouched.
Trying to get to sheet C 2.0.
C 2.0, is that going to be above or below where I am now?
That is above. There we
C
go.
2.0.
Yeah, you got about 4 sheets to go. While we're still waiting, I can bring everyone up to speed. I met with Chris Hovatter on this project earlier in the week, discussed the stormwater management. He gave me a verbal on our submission and followed that up with a formal submission to his office. I understand, LJ, he was supposed to talk to you about that.
He did indeed, and we reviewed the plans, and he is happy with what he sees.
Okay. While we're waiting for this to pop up, a little bit about our stormwater. We're planning for 4 stormwater structures following the ESD practices of the Maryland 2010 Stormwater Management Manual and the city ordinance. We had to have 4 structures. One, because when you look at our site plan, you'll see that we're pretty tight in our lot area. And 2, there's also a drainage divide. Part of the site goes to the northeast, the other part goes towards the southeast. And we wanted to maintain that relationship without what we call breaking the drainage divide. So, we're getting close.
Almost.
Yeah, we're getting there. Right above 3.0. It's next sheet above that.
So that's showing 2 of them there.
I'm sorry, 2 of what? Stormwater ponds?
2 of your stormwater collection areas.
There's actually 3 of them that are showing on the lower part of the screen right now. I can show you on the next sheet where they're located, and I can flip to the contours. All right.
I missed
Oh,
that.
There we go. This time we won't move anything.
I'm not touching a thing,
No, I just asked for permission for the cursor. There
and
we
I
go.
approved. There you
Thank
go.
you. All
My
right.
pleasure.
So stormwater, we have, this is the northern structure here. There's an existing drainage divide or drainage way. It heads this way. So we've gone ahead and located that, and it picks up roughly this part of the site here. Once again, recall that this, what I'm tracing around right here is existing area. So our new building sits to the south of the existing, and we're creating a new entrance with dock and loading area back here towards the south end of this. There's another stormwater structure back here, which handles roughly half of the new building. A stormwater structure down here over the hill, which handles most of the parking lot and loading area, and a stormwater structure here nestled between the building and the right of way, which handles roughly half of the new building itself. This is classified as a redevelopment. I'm only required to reduce my existing impervious area by 50%, and we've met that criteria. So we have what's called ESD to the MEP, which is environmental site design to the maximum extent practical, which is the goal of the stormwater management under the 2010 ordinance. Couple notes. The total building area. Let me see if I can zoom in. I can't zoom in. It just gives me a cursor. But the total lot area is 6.1 acres. And our building coverage comes out to about 34%. We have a little over 91,000 square feet under roof. When we figure the compressor building and a few other add-ins here and there. Some things to want to point out is currently we do not have a design for site lighting. We will have site lighting. We'll have parking lot lighting on both the front and rear. They will be designed to meet city standards, and the contract city in the construction phase, proper drawings for approval. This is getting to be something that I'm seeing more and more of. We're letting our contractors select the light fixtures in the parking lot areas as an effort to save money, and they supply us a design as opposed to putting a design out and having them bid that. Right now we are supplying 55 regular spaces and 3 HC spaces, handicap spaces. In the event that we would need more, there is some space here to the south parking lot where we could add that would not conflict with our turning movements, trucks backing in and out. And you'll notice that these entrances here and here are pretty wide. That is because of the trucks turning onto Hoffman Hollow Road. There's such a tight turn coming off of this and coming back along Hoffman Hollow that we had to go a fairly wide entrance on these. So I don't think, oh, maybe I can move the next one down. I'm going to actually flip to the next sheet, which is our grading plan, which will show the grading on the site. We have a good bit of fill to the south that goes in order to provide us with a level parking lot and loading and receiving area. And we're straightening up some of the stuff on the north side in order to ensure that we have the proper grades for handicap and the proper grades for receiving on the north side. Currently, our docks are less than 48 inches high on the north side. 48 inches is the optimal dock measurement for the type of vehicles we have coming in and out. Our design will change that and regrade slightly in that area. Almost there. There we go. So this shows the ponds a little bit better. You can see the grading that's associated with each pond. The discharge point heading out this way. This pond has an overflow which goes into the existing drainage way coming down. You guys can barely make this out on the site plan where you can see the contours come up. This is a mess. This is a junk here on lot 5. There was an old stormwater sediment control pond here, which I understand was for this. The county has retained ownership of that. Pond here, you can see the amount of fill. We got about 12 or 13 foot of fill that goes in on this back corner and our property line here with lot 8. So I mentioned earlier that we were seeking a lot line adjustment. Currently lot 8 picks up all the way through here. What we would like to do is take the back half of lot 8 and add it to lot 7. And actually both lot 6, 7 and part of lot 8 would be combined into a single lot for development. Adam, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've already met with the county and they have signed off on this?
Correct. The owner, Fred Clark, has met directly with them, and verbally they have signed off, and we are currently working with the attorney on their end and our attorney to make the deal official. It's a process on that side of it.
Okay. One thing I did want to point out on this side while I have this drawing up is we'll have actually a fairly small for the size of the building trash collection area here. This will be our dumpster pad. It's set back a good bit from the parking lot. And flip to the next page. LJ and I kind of went.
For a second, Ray.
Yeah.
How is there access to the residual of lot 8, or is it just non-developable?
This is all lot 8 right here.
Yes.
This is Young Court. That's that subdivision we approved. It has frontage on the cul-de-sac to Young Court.
Fine, thank you.
So, yeah, we will not be recording a revised subdivision. This would be handled by an 8.5 by 14 document that would be recorded that would just show the boundary of this part of lot 8, this part of lot 8, lot 7, and lot 6 combined, and that'll be recorded with a new description. All right. The next sheet I want to show you is a landscape plan. In accordance with the city ordinance, we're required to buffer lots. I think it was larger than, was it 5 or 10 spaces, LJ? I don't recall. But we were required to buffer.
5.
Yeah, we were required to buffer our parking lots. So what we've done is the majority of our parking, we've gone ahead and buffer here. The trees that are being used are off of the approved tree list. And we got a little bit around here, added some more trees in this area here. I didn't want to put a whole lot back here, just because of the steep slope and the stormwater structure and that. Planting trees on slopes like this are never a good idea, 2-to-1 slope. But I did throw some trees in here. And the rest of the site is wooded. So anything that we don't disturb with grading or with our utilities will remain wooded. And for those who looked at the rest of the set, you'll notice we have sediment erosion control as well as details on our stormwater management have already been added. This set is fairly far along. Like I said, I submitted it to Chris for permit review for our stormwater. So what we're asking tonight is for preliminary, and if preliminary is granted, also final site development plan with any conditions that you would see fit. We have a construction schedule. We have equipment arriving. Correct me, Adam, I'll let you explain your equipment situation because it's coming from overseas, right?
Correct. That is, so it's designed in the type of equipment that we need to order for this tissue paper. It's only manufactured overseas in China, and so you have to have it engineered and designed, and then it's manufactured. But once that process starts and it gets on a container, it's on its way, and you have to receive it and be ready for it. And that's where we're trying to align the construction schedule with the schedule that we already have for this equipment that's been designed and ordered, which puts us towards the end of this year with that equipment coming in. And then there's ancillary equipment that gets attached into that's made domestically, and it has less of a lead time that we'd be bringing in and setting up. So in our world, and like everybody's world, when you're expanding a business and a manufacturing line, the sooner you can get the building done and be able to, start to implement these different machines and work through all the different processes and things you didn't realize at the time, the better. And that's the reason behind the, trying to keep the schedule moving as quickly as possible.
Yeah, this will be a pre-engineered metal building. We'll have a local contractor that's working on that. The building itself has over a 2-month lead time from date of order to where we'll start seeing the building actually arrive on site, and about a 3 to 4 month construction period. So as you can imagine right now, that's 5 months if we started today with the building before it's up and running, before he could even bring his equipment in. So we pretty much on a tight time schedule. Adam's kept us, the design team, on our toes, making us move through this.
And I appreciate that.
Hey, Ray, this is JC. I have a question. Can you
Yes.
kind of show me where the original lot 8 would have been
Yes.
and kind of what we're adjusting? Because I'm having a hard time kind of visualizing that.
The original lot 8 came up like this, came around lot 7, comes down, and it comes up here and actually meets way up here. I don't have a full image on here. If you want, I can call the subdivision up, tell you what the subdivision looks
That's
like.
okay. So the original line was on that angle.
Yes.
Okay, that was and then it kind of wrapped around lot 7.
Right. Lot 8 was considerably larger than lot 7 or lot 6. And what we've done is we've still managed to keep lot 8, which this will become lot 8 right here. We still managed to keep a really good depth on lot 8 by taking only what we needed on this back half for our stormwater management and our loading area.
Parking,
So,
yeah.
yeah, so
Okay.
what we're taking is a triangular portion from 8, and we'll be adding that to the site.
Okay. And what, I guess, I think, just so I understand Conrad's question earlier, the access for the remainder of 8 would come off of Young Court up here.
Correct.
Okay.
So right
Okay,
there's
thank
Young
you.
Court, and that
And
it'll have
currently,
frontage that-
lot 8, you say is wooded?
Yes, yeah, it's wooded from roughly this line here back all the way around. So light woods, nothing of great value. It appears to have been timbered some time ago.
And the division line that's showing there in your part of lot 8, that's basically just the bearing from in between 7 and 6, right?
Right here.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So this become right now lot 8 comes around the cul-de-sac, comes all the way around and wraps around 7 and 6 and goes all around. So lot 8 envelops both 6
Okay.
and 7.
All
Our
right,
new division line will be right here.
Okay, that center line was what was throwing me off a little bit there. Yep, okay.
That's actually the old lot 8 from the original subdivision, and we amended that some time ago.
Okay, okay. I understand now. Thank you.
That kind of ends what I had to present. Adam, do you have anything else that you think we should add?
No, I don't think so. I think we covered everything.
Can you address the number of inspected employees? I don't know if we hit that or not.
Sure. No, that's a good point. We didn't do that. So currently there's 10 employees that came over from the purchase. We purchased Sierra, and they are all staying, everything's staying the same with that process. We think once the new equipment comes in and we're at full manufacturing capacity, it would be a total of 20 employees added in. Our current schedule is everybody likes to work 410s, and we'll continue that until there's a reason why that doesn't work for us. As far as truck traffic goes, we're anticipating at max there'd be maybe 5 trucks per day on, the worst possible day in terms of how this would work. But the idea with the extra space is too that we're able to bring the raw materials in and have them on hand to the point to where it's not working that way currently. That's, if you see on the plan where it has noted, they have containers outside to hold some of the raw product in the current process, and this will eliminate all of that and give us what we need to run at full capacity with the proper amount of room.
So if I understood what you said, you currently have 10 employees and expect to add another 20 when you're up and running at full capacity?
That would be adding 10 more for a total of 20 total employees at full capacity.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. So you'll see that our parking more than adequately meets, not only do we meet the zoning requirements, and this is one of those cases where the zoning requirement is a good bit higher than what our perceived need would be.
Commissioners, are there any other questions for Mr. Rase or Mr. Feltley? Hearing none, the chair would entertain a motion.
This is Karen. Hello.
Okay, Karen, go ahead.
This is Karen.
Yes.
I just wonder if there wouldn't be room for more trees planted on the north side. It just seems like a lot of paving. And I think it would be beneficial to work as many trees in as you could.
Karen, are you talking about this side right here? This is the north side.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Didn't know if that was usable.
Actually, no, I have a water line that runs right down the line here that feeds the building.
Ah.
You can see this. So that kind of prohibits me from doing any development or anything in here. We had to actually pull back the parking lot away from the property line in order to get our grades and everything to work because of that.
Uh-huh. So the paving, this is not the grading plan, obviously, so, but the water is just naturally flowing off the edge of the pavement into your ponds, or?
Yes, yeah, let me move up a little bit here. Maybe. I need one of those little Jeopardy buttons, start playing the songs.
The music, right?
Yeah. I hate to hit the
Well-
button anymore because I'm afraid it's just going to shoot ahead like 5 sheets and we'll have to wait again.
Okay, yeah, I see it now. So it's definitely directing it that way. I just wondered if it was a flat sheet flow.
Yeah, we've tried our best to sheet flow for most of this, but right now this all currently flows to this direction. There's an existing swale right here. And
Okay.
that's our discharge for our pond will be that existing swale through here. You'll see the new parking lot here where we're adding, just so you know that the existing parking lot comes over about like this. That's the existing area of our asphalt.
Yeah,
This is all new asphalt, and you'll notice our pond's going to collect all that new runoff from the asphalt. So, and we also picked up a little bit of the area coming off this, with the remaining just flowing like it is right now.
thank you. That's an exciting project.
It's good to feel growing pains in the city once again.
It is.
I must admit, I had a fun time sitting down reviewing these documents. Took me back to my working days.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, Conrad, because I've had a few drawings reviewed by you.
Okay, so we're looking for a motion for a preliminary and final site plan.
The chair would entertain such a motion.
But LJ, just to clarify, we're doing the preliminary and final. Is that how it needs to be worded?
Yes, Madam Commissioner, if you're comfortable with that, we would like to see a preliminary and final site plan submission of
With,
approval, including lot line.
with the lighting plan coming later.
Yes, Ray and Adam, are you comfortable with that?
For clarification, do you want that in front of the planning commission, or is it just staff approval?
I'm not qualified to judge it anyway, so I would think staff approval would be. I didn't know if we needed any wording to that effect in this approval or not.
To be perfectly clear, staff is not qualified to approve a light, but staff has colleagues at the county, Allegheny County level that are, and it's not unusual for us to ask for assistance in that manner. And I'd be happy to do that.
And by all means, we can see that during construction phase, for the lights are installed, you'll get a set of photometrics, LJ,
Mhm.
and you can decide whether you want to take that to the county or not.
Absolutely. That's not an unusual process. Because we're a smaller municipality, we simply don't have the wherewithal to be able to include every single possibility, including photometrics. So we rely on our colleagues at county and state level to help us out on occasion, and this is one of those occasions.
Chairman Best, I'll go ahead and make the motion to approve the preliminary and final site plan, including the lot line adjustments, with the caveat that a lighting plan be presented to staff for approval.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll
I would second. Go ahead.
All right, I have a motion to approve as Commissioner Duncan verbalized. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Director Bennett, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir, with pleasure. Thank you very much. Commissioner Rase?
I abstained.
Is
Oh, I'm
abstaining.
sorry, that's correct, abstained. Commissioner Ritchey?
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan, your vote?
Aye.
Thank you
I
very much.
apologize.
No worries. Commissioner Krogh?
Aye.
Chair Best?
Aye.
And Commissioner Snyder?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Let the record show there is one abstention. Commissioner Rase has abstained from the vote. And we do have a quorum regardless, and that shows unanimous on all other counts. So thank you very much.
All right, fine. Mr. Felty, you're welcome to stay on and listen to the rest of our discussion, or you may do as you see fit with the rest of your evening.
Well, thank you all very much. I appreciate all your time in reviewing this, and we look forward to, to this project and being a part of Frostburg. And, it's excited. We're excited. So again, thank you all. Have a good evening. I'll be signing off.
Thank you very much, Mr. Felty. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we appreciate the presentation you brought to us this evening. I hope you have a great evening too.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, I guess we need to return now to the lot development on 75 Grant Street. I don't see anybody here to do the presentation.
Nor do I, Chair Best, and I would leave it up to the commission's discretion on how you would like to handle that presentation.
Do you have any knowledge of what they've done differently than when this was last brought to us?
My understanding is that the lot lines have not changed. The Director of Public Works and City Engineer Chris Hovatter and the Water Department and I have worked on the water connection permits and how those will be arranged and installed. The permits are in place. A motion on the subdivision plat will be contingent on the issuance of those permits that is required by our subdivision and land development regulations. Sewer is in place and acceptable as it is, so no new tap permits for sewer were required. But each lot will receive its own water tap. As was discussed in the preliminary approval, no non-conforming lots are being created. And based on your preliminary approval, there are no significant changes to this plat.
I didn't read the minutes from the previous presentation. Did we have any caveats at that time?
Not to my recollection, but
I don't recall any
I have the
either.
ability
think
to very quickly if you'd like me to.
I thought
the
I
utility,
thought the concern was the parking and the entryway there. Or did we resolve that, Ray? Do you remember?
In this area
In terms
between
of
the two
distance?
main buildings,
Yes.
there is definitely an easement right of way that comes from Grant Street all the way out to Hill Street. And there's adequate parking along each each frontage of each building.
Okay, all right. I remember that being part of the conversation, but I couldn't remember what we had resolved.
Well, and I remember that on the one side, the lot line butted right up against Potomac Edison property, I believe, which meant that we didn't have to worry about setbacks and those kinds of things.
Yeah, that was the existing lot line.
Correct.
Well,
There are
yeah.
existing nonconformities involving the original building structures that were constructed significantly before the current zoning ordinance setbacks were put in place.
So just as a clarification, LJ, this plat creates no new non-conformities?
Nonconformities, that's correct.
Okay.
No new nonconformities are created, which we would not be permitted to do that based on the regulations of the zoning ordinance. So this subdivision creates conforming lots. The two new lots that are created exist right here, where you see R&R properties labeled. This is the J&J Bait Shop and Archery Range. And this building adjacent to Grant Street is the Langley's.
But to be honest with you, I don't see any reason why we can't approve this other than the fact that nobody came to present the thing. And I'm wondering what happened since you had discussion with them earlier today about it.
Well, and it clearly is showing it's noted that there's been 2 revisions. Yeah, the original one was October, and then there was a revision in November, and then a revision in February.
In all fairness, with the mess up earlier with the emails and the Google invites, yeah, that should be taken into consideration.
I appreciate that, but Google Calendar
Still get you
reminders
here?
were not sent to presenters.
Oh, okay.
Only Zoom invites were sent to presenters.
Well, then they should be here. Is there any precedence for approving stuff without a client present?
I
I'm
remember
reason-
we've had other things brought before the commissioner that we didn't have a presenter property and that city staff basically did the presentation.
That has
Yeah,
indeed
in fact,
happened. That has indeed happened in the past, but not without significant meeting. So staff presentation was assured that it was what the property owner wanted. I haven't had that kind of conversation with either the person who's drawn this plat or the property owner, to be perfectly honest.
I guess
If-
I was not
the other
prepared
way-
to present on their behalf.
Okay, I make a motion, we table this
Okay.
until that the,
As you look, I don't think that it's gonna change anything that they're gonna do in the interim between now and if they had to come back next month for approval. They're not waiting for us to approve this so they can get a water line connection or anything like that, are they?
Haven't had movement on the water connection permits. They are aware of, they have been presented with a draft set of permits, and they are clear on what it costs to create those connections. And they were presented with those today. So I don't have any feedback on that at this point.
Now, given our discussion, the chair would entertain a motion to table this presentation until a future meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I have a motion to table. Is there a second?
Second,
I have a motion to motion and a second to table. Any further discussion? Director Bennett, would you call the roll, please?
With pleasure. Thank you, sir. Commissioner Rase,
Aye.
Commissioner Ritchey,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Commissioner Krogh,
Aye.
Commissioner,
LJ, if that was to me, aye.
thank you, and Chair Best.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Let the record show that's a unanimous decision to table this presentation until presenters can be present with us.
Okay, LJ, if you'll move us on down so I can see what the next item is on the agenda, we'll move on.
Sir, with pleasure.
Okay, we're up to discussion items by the chair and members of the commission. Not sure whether you're ready on this one, LJ, but I think our minutes from the last meeting said you were going to give us some kind of a report on the right of way on
Village Parkway.
The road coming in from off of 36 past the nursing home and Smitty's Tire.
Yes, sir. At this time, I am not prepared to give you a full report. I would like to bring that back to you in the April meeting.
Fine, thank you.
But the development that we've been seeing in the industrial park as of late has led us to be concerned somewhat that that road can handle the truck traffic that we project to be happening there here in the very near future. So there's a lot of collaboration that needs to happen between the city and the county, and perhaps with the State Highway Administration at the entrance of Village Parkway and the connection to Route 36. So there's a lot to look at and a lot to discover to you in April, if that suits the commission.
Fine by me.
Thank you.
Okay, administrative business and communications received. I don't see anything indicated here. Is that the case?
That is the case, sir.
Staff reports then.
In your original agenda, I provided you with the 2020 local government annual reporting from the Maryland Department of Planning. That is based on the planning report that I produced spring, early summer of 2020. And that is when I reported to you that we had a total of 6 new residential permits issued in the calendar year of 2019. All of those permits were issued in the priority funding area. So this is the cumulative report from the entire state based on that small report that I issued back in 2020. What I found interesting, I made a few notes. Particularly that Caroline, Allegheny, and Kent counties were noted as issuing less than 50 new residential permits. That's the threshold. 50 or more requires some additional reporting, but 50 or less does not. And so Caroline, Allegheny, and Kent counties issued less than 50 new residential permits with a combined total of 19 new residential permits inside PFA boundaries. And based on our current statistics, we issued 5 single-family dwelling permits. So that's just one less than 2019. What's interesting about 2020 being generally the entire year a pandemic year is that we also issued 5 permits for structural additions and garages. As we stand now in 2021, just a little over 3 months in, we've got 2 single-family dwelling permits on deck, ready to be issued. That means they have been through the plan review process. We're just waiting for final approvals from Allegheny Soil Conservation District and other administrative items to clear before speech, and one addition. That addition has already been permitted. So looking at those numbers, our projections look good to stay on track for that average of 6, 5, 6, hopefully maybe even a few more this year. But for Frostburg, it's my opinion that we're looking good on keeping single family dwelling permits and their issuance on track. We've got some really good subdivision development going on in 2 different locations in town, and the projections look good. And clearly, as we've seen this evening, we've got some great commercial development. So despite the challenges and the limitations of the pandemic we've been experiencing, I think it's safe to say we've got some really good development going on. And I don't feel like we're insulated from the issues that the nation is experiencing right now, but we're doing okay.
Any comments or questions by other commissioners?
Nope, if we're just going to follow up on that, I'll add, and I'm sure everyone has seen it on Facebook, but Southern Living gave a nice little story on Frostburg.
Yeah, that was wonderful, wasn't it?
Yes.
The sleepy little town everyone needs to visit.
That's it.
Really, we're not so sleepy. We're really rather vibrant.
Hey, but if that sells, we'll sell that.
That's true.
That's a really great article, and we definitely have Allegheny County Tourism to thank for that. Ashley Workman and Jessica Palumbo do an absolutely stellar job making sure we stay on the radar. We're so thankful to them.
What month was that?
That just came out in the
Just
last 2
came out.
days.
Yeah.
Is that the document that featured a farm in Garrett County also?
This was a Southern Living magazine article that featured the city of Frostburg specifically as a great destination for a place to visit where you can take advantage of all kinds of recreational activities, arts and entertainment, and great food. It's a really great article. The city has shared it on their Facebook page, so has Frostburg First, and so has Allegheny County.
Just open up a web page, LJ, and search for Southern Living Frostburg.
Will do, thanks.
Frosting.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes. I
Yeah,
can see it.
Okay, so this is an ad with the gentleman pouring milk. But there's a really nice article here. I'll gladly send you this article link. This is a great photo of our town. This is where the cruise in is occurring, and I love that sunset photo.
oh yeah, great.
Yeah, and the depot is highlighted. Definitely the Gap Trail is highlighted, and mainstays like the Princess and Sand Spring and the Toasted Goat and the Main Street Pub are all highlighted as, you know, restaurants and establishments to visit. The Hotel Gunter and the Allegheny Trail House. It's just a great article, and this went not only online but also in the Southern Living print publication. So it's just great press for us.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. Y'all come over. We are welcoming like that though, so it suits us.
All right, as I see it, that completes our agenda for this evening unless there's, somebody's got something more to add.
Add that not only Bethany and I, but the entire community are very thankful for your service, commissioners, to our community. And we just want you to know that we really appreciate your dedication to the smart growth of Frostburg. Not just us, but the entire community. So we thank you for taking your time to volunteer and provide your service and make sure we're doing well here in Frostburg. You are appreciated.
Hey, LJ, what are you hearing from out of the downstate with the governor's order lifting some of the COVID-19? Is there any talk of going back to in-person meetings?
I've read a number of the orders today. Basically, what I focused on today was the permitting, registration, and licensure, which has seriously impacted community development processes in terms of rental housing registration and permitting. That extension on those requirements will end on June 30th. And so we're preparing to make sure everyone is aware that as of July 1st, everything needs to be up to date. I do not recall reading restrictions on the limitations for gatherings. I've been in contact with Chair Best about our meeting protocols, and I understand that, you know, many of us would like to start meeting in person again. Looking forward to April, I can foresee that we could do a city place meeting socially without any problem in terms of population restrictions. And we're planning on moving into the new municipal center at the end of this month. So I'm hoping that by May, we'll be able to host meetings in person in our new conference room. And I look forward to welcoming everyone to the new municipal building. I've had the opportunity to take a couple tours. It's still somewhat under construction, but you can really see how nice of a workspace that's going to be and how conducive it will be to public meetings, not just with our commissions, but also with the public. It's going to work really nice.
Good.
I'm sorry, I had a phone call. What was this place you're talking about?
Our new municipal center at 37 South
yes.
Broadway is
Great.
really coming along, and we expect to move in soon.
That's good to
And
hear.
yeah, I'm really hopeful that with continued decrease in COVID case rates and the continued increase in vaccination rates, hopefully we'll be able to meet in person in May at the new municipal center. I'm hopeful.
All right, the chair would entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll make that motion.
There's a second.
I can second it. It's Karen.
All right. We are adjourned.
Y'all have a good week.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks very much. You have a good week too. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Bethany,
LJ.
for your assistance.
Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Take care. Good
Thanks.
night.
Thank you both for making it possible.
Our pleasure. Good to see everyone tonight.
Bye-bye.
Good night.